another day to go outside. Let's check it out. Oh, it's like 40 degrees out here. Again, got that little snowfall the other day. Looks nice out here. Sure. Let's go take a walk out back. See how the bridge is doing. There's the dog. Good girl, Savannah. January 15th, we could do some burning. That would be nice. Tree branches. That's the usual way I go. Got some wood here to clean up. A couple logs here and there. Yeah, looks like the bridge is doing good. Hiding under the snow. It's almost noon. That's how low the sun is, just barely over the trees. Here's the stream, looks nice. Definitely nice to have a bridge to get across. That's interesting. Bit of a spot where I guess the water bubbles up and melts. Okay, so I'm back at this nice hemlock next to some white pines. I think this is kind of near the edge of the property. On the left is my house, on the right, back there's Dan's house. This log over here I shoved with the backhoe, the one that Savannah just jumped over. That big giant dead log I shoved back there, get it out of the way. This was a mess here, I cleaned it up a bit, shoved some of it off to the sides, made little bits of paths here and there. And over this way, towards what I think is the back property line, which is that big giant white pine up there. That is what we were told was the corner of the property. So as you can see, we're pretty well back in the woods. And then next to that pine tree, horizontal, is the rock wall. And I pushed some more dead logs over there. I'll go take a look at that. There's the pine tree in the corner, big giant one. I got this curved tree kind of in front of us. Got a hemlock growing up next to it. Definitely want to keep that. There's not too many hemlocks left. And I want to get some of these big pine trees down on my property. But this corner one, that one's going to stay far enough away anyway. This tree here, that's got to go, and the one that's attached to this big one here. And it kind of just fell over years ago, I guess. They cut it up somewhat, which has left this mess here. So early spring we'll come back here, cut that up, dump it on the wall, or just inside the wall. Kind of give a little property demarcation here. Had the backhoe back here cleaning up, and did well. There's a low spot in the rock wall here. We laid up these trees because that's preservation land. Mr. Hayes has that property. It's like 600 acres. And people walk up and down it, and he doesn't mind that at all. But we just want to make sure people know that's ours. And I'm going to walk over towards this pine tree. Turn towards that pine tree through the thin trees. And I believe the property line is somewhere in there. So from this point this way, I could do a little thinning and make some paths in here. Get some of these scraggly trees out of the way, turn them into firewood, and make it nice. At least that's the plan. So we'll walk back. There's some more logs I pushed over. There's a lot of grapevine back here that pulled down some of these trees. Been trying to battle that during the summer. And then this slopes down towards a stream, which is why we have that bridge across there. Some of these broken trees we'll have to chop up later. You know, while moving the dead stuff that's lying under here, some tree stumps, haven't really dealt with those. They're a bit beastly, even though they've been rotting for 20 years. Now we're back on the path. There's that big pine tree in the back, and here's this smaller one here. Not pine tree, hemlock. Called it wrong earlier. I'll try and make this area a little nicer back here. It's nice to be able to get some equipment back here to help. I did some cutting some small trees. Got some nice poles, some hardwood. Use those for something. That's the story. You know, when I built the road, I made sure I was avoiding these moss-covered conglomerate rocks and so forth. Just try and leave it as natural as possible, and avoid touching the stream bed for sure. Now I've got some down trees over there. Eventually I'll pull those out, cut them up, maybe for firewood, maybe they're too rotted, we'll have to see. And clean this area up a little bit. The other problem we have is we got some blight on the beloved elm trees. The elm grows to a certain height. In this case, I'd say it's about maximum height, about 14 feet, 15 feet. And the fungus which lives in the ground comes up and eats the, was that the cambium layer under the bark? Done. This tree was living and well a year ago. Dead. So we'll have to take that out at some point. My neighbor had some trees dropped back there. We'll try and get some of that cleaned up as well. Yeah, make it a little nicer for the birds and animals coming through. You know, we'll leave some areas of lower brush because birds like that, and some areas where we can walk through. Clean this up. So I've got another path going over that way. That was a deep pit over the years, been filling it with old logs and everything else. Finally coming up to level. And then there's some trees back there. You want some more cleaning up. It's an older guy, nice guy. And then these trees, they're getting a little old and spindly. Shelter. The wood stove. Yeah, wood stove. Yeah, wood shed. Just looked at wood stove earlier. And now we're back. Good deal. This is a darn big pile of stuff. I should turn some of these logs into a shelter or something, because all this pine's been accumulating. Not sure I'm going to burn it all. And I can't just light it on fire, especially not near the shelter. We'll figure that out. Turning a bunch of it into kindling on this side. Before the snows came, we cut that up. Made some kindling. that's what we have inside the woodshed here in the wheelbarrows. Okay, we can take a peek in. Hello, firewood, all nice and dry. Oh yeah. And then of course, kindling. And we're slowly working on the third row now, third row of wood, and then we've got 3 rows over here. We ordered 4 cords of seasoned wood, and then some of this on the bottom I split this past summer. It's a little unseasoned yet. We'll get that going. Here's the garden. It's a little different winter. The forsythia tends to bloom. That's over there. It tends to bloom about April 1st. As when spring seems to start coming here. Leaves get on the trees May 1st. This is some old maple from out front. Tom came and cut it. Left it sit on the ground, just moved it back here this spring. Starting to cut it up, and we'll split that up. It's under that silver tarp. And of course the backhoe, and there's the back of the backhoe. I've got a log splitter on it right now on the 3-point pitch. That's the story. Thanks for watching.